knockouts, and he has 21 career knockouts.
Gracias.
So he's a long way to points, and after he gets his points.
It's interesting, despite the Cruz on the inside. There's a reason why, as Santa Cruz lands one left hook over the top.
I think down, and that's a 2-point round.
Unless, of course, Smokers in the ring as referee. In trouble, probably got out of the second round. That he was already headed toward being knocked out by Taylor.
I mean, he doesn't. I think and one more, you say signature, probably still.
A heavyweight, Ledyard, Connecticut. Many a replay of the knockdown because of where the punch. You'll see it between rounds. It translates to across the target as he lands them.
Go down from a blow that's above the waist, any part of your body, it can be considered as a knockdown.
Bottom line would seem, and that
if you think it was an even round,
and you know, may have won it, but it was fighting.
You heard Rudy Hernandez between rounds. The right hand when circling to his left towards Santa Cruz.
Punches get out of the way just enough to win it. Seriously trying to hurt anyone.
Well, it'll be interesting to see
his opponent in front of most.
Experts
who want to watch Diaz have a very good point.
Diaz out of Houston, Texas, with tremendous will.
Take your linear stuff and throw it away for that concern, because I cannot look at titles. I look at Juan Diaz. He's in him regular, fighting good quality of fight.
While who's the champ if no one wants to see him?
Round 3 of the schedule 12. He went down, out bad balance, but from the standpoint of legality, a knockdown, and then in the to Casamayor's camp for an extended period of time, and since I wasn't even fighting.
Well, you got to realize that the fighters grow. At one time, they made that mistake when he was my sparring partner. It happened, and that's how he misjudged Bowen. But this fight right here, it's
glorious amateur career fighting in the United States. 1 point at 119. Been a lot of fighters in the last 10-15 years into the fight. Harold, how do you have
Santa Cruz? Casamayor being landed in this fight. It's that right hand, Armando Santa Cruz. If you're a judge, it's a knockdown. Now, if Casamayor
keep looking for signs that Joel Casamayor is going to change course and began to stand his ground.
Cruz is throwing more punch in the world himself.
Casamayor was feeling the top of it, and long rangy. We were talking, Max, about the fact that, or excuse me, Casamayor into thinking he was going to have an easy night. When we asked trainer, the net sum of it was
talk to people a lot of time.
4, Santa Cruz 14 out of. Still, incidentally, the original Garden Ring in 1971, the one that Judah and taken to Canada and Emmanuel, it's a little bit big.
And also I had the pleasure of going up and moving around tight very hard, which I think in this case, because the guy couldn't move as much, but this is a fan.
Canvas is like
so excited that tied the left eye now. Santa Cruz
applying a lot of pressure and not.
Round 6 of the schedule, Casamayor after 13 months away and put up a lightweight championship against
most dominant puncher.
Cruz is way up against David Diaz when he was caught late in the pitching between orthodox. Maybe Casamayor has that in mind.
Not that much of a puncher.
That was a good left hand.
Yeah. Well, he's going to do that. It's a lot of experience.
Up as much as he is, give him opportunities. Now, they're from time to time, but to improve his own chances of landing something.
Space. The way he's punching when he lands punches is very weak punches, and he finishes up clutching.
Oh, Gotti, I liked watching
the tall fighters. You know, when guys get too close.
Max, there's a debate in the sport as to whether England's Ricky, the exciting, violent, non-stop fighter,
he's in tip-top shape with the other.
It's often the longer-armed fighter who gets it.
6 rounds, I don't know. Joe Golden constantly, if you watch the fight, you know, effective right away. I mean, the guy, if Casamayor won a round fight, Jim.
That cut inside the left eye of Casamayor. He lands it good. Flew through the air and all. It's one of those can't.
To
landing more little straight punches, particularly with the right jab from that position.
It seems to me in recent years, left-hand power punches.
A lot of these guys have amateur backgrounds where they fought a lot of southpaws amateurs.
Punch. Cruz switches both ways. Remember, as Max Kellerman told you, he was in the middle.
Fastest and most coordinated fighter himself. He's a little on the clumsy side, so
floating around guys that have a tough time against the Baby Bull.
He's a fantastic fighter. I mean, any fighter he can do. But
I think Rudy's thinking about David Diaz. Knockout.
And he's been careless and loosey.
There is a time for holding. Kelly Pavlik Taylor when he was in serious rival. But if Casamayor's holding all fight, that
he eats a left and a right hand, and then Studi disciplining his.
A lot of punches too.
And walking through everything.
He does punch. He doesn't punch hard anyway. And what little punch he's trying to punch and get out of the way at the same time.
Some guys out there who are pretty satisfied tonight seeing him get it. He called horrible fighter.
Way into a big payday. He's 36 years old. Best he has given his not enough.
If you look, he doesn't really. He does this. He hopes his head. Saying at the end of the round, the fact that he doesn't have really much of a defense. He just hopes that he's out of range. But for his head movement, it's very little.
There is no trainer without raising his voice, but simply stating to the fighter who's left. Now, for starters, you've got to win all four of those. Then Joe Goosen saying to Diego Corrales in the 10th round of his first fight with Jose Luis Castillo, get inside on it. Wednesday afternoon in the gym.
10 rounds said nothing to 10 rounds. Finally, he had another straight last round. And
I was not supposed to be a corner. I was brought in as a cut. I have any ideals. But
I also liked Emmanuel going berserk because Lewis wasn't throwing the knockout.
Backs from that House Rockman fight still.
And I think that in the
hard left hand by a lot of shots.
His legs, his timing is off a lot now. He slips defense and just hoping he's out of range.
And that's not real defense.
Yep.
Like Muhammad Ali at his peak. Irrationally to duck away from punches.
And that is, he doesn't have that. And the head back twisting and weight.
Throwing it from 3 feet away, and Casamayor just watching it land on his face.
I mean, Jim, I don't know. I gave Joe Cap, but basically holding. Armando Santa Cruz landing all the clean, effective shots, mostly straight left hands, just landing the better punches. He is the aggressor. You can't take that away. One quick thing, Jim. If you get hit on the jaw, you can grab. There's no doubt about it. But if you're going to hold, just the hold so you won't get
3 or 4 start getting warnings, and although never seen.
Yeah, but Cruz, all the tall fights apart, when a short guy is effectively, he's an excessive clutching. I call it an Latimer, yes. And that's a part of tall fighters boxing.
Landing a 5-punch, initiating a clinch before you've thrown a punch.
Both hands.
Good demonstration of the two-handed. Hernandez is done with this young fighter. I got to tell you, I don't think I would encourage somebody as Gang to convince.
I agree with Gang the kid like this.
But at this moment, if the fight were to end right now, Jose or see him fight, forget about a David Diaz rematch.
Clean fighter, but I do want a response. It seems to me a man blows in the wake of Cotto landing 2 of
every conversation that the blows in the one was accidental. A lot of times the guy starts a body punch and the punch straight low. And sometimes the way that the opponent may be blocking, pushing his elbows down, we're forced to punch.
Cotto's face there. Could we at least start the fight before you begin talking to me about low blows?
Stone cold in a fight. So
has referred to the low blow that Isley threw in the 4th round against Fernando Vargas, seconds after Vargas. Oscar De La Hoya.
Did see what he was hurt with by Vargas. It did look like that was
and a purposeful low blow.
Yeah, and it was not an easy one to take either.
And look at Casamayor leaning on, has looked much like its predecessors. Leather from the. Here's a look at Casamayor ducking back under the top rope.
This is one of the few times I've ever saw this actually happen in a fight. It happens in the gym to some degree on the.
Nevertheless, Santa Cruz seems safely champion of linear light rallies in October in the white trunks.
You don't have true fight fame champions of the world especially when he hasn't been even. Juan Diaz is just the number.
Sonny Liston was Patterson was the champ.
There were some, even in the federal government, listing, so that the ex-con, regarded as a champion, it's my job to fight the best challenger, and he clearly. That's a mess, and causes great confusion.
I think it's good sometimes weight division, which a lot of people say it shouldn't be, but I think there's enough fighters out here, and then especially with guys trying to starve the race. Guy have to wait maybe that's one champion, but it
appears to about it.
And second, Lincoln Heights, California will probably.
Joel Casamayor.